I want to talk about the sitar. I'd heard sitar through Beatles records, through Ravi Shankar, and then later on studying at university. But my first personal encounter with the sitar was when a fabulous classical guitarist had invited me to dinner at his home. And he had a sitar, and he invited me to play it. And I played it, and I realized that every time I moved, the sitar moved. So if I played a note with my right hand and put a little bit of weight on my thumb, for example, or the pick, it moved, the neck moved. And every time I put my fingers down, it moved at the other end. Actually, I found this very enticing. It was like a relationship already developing between me and the instrument. Every movement I made was reflected in the instrument. After about a half an hour of messing around, I gave the instrument back to him and said, I have to be really careful with this because I might not ever stop playing it. And I was genuine in the concept because my guitar is relatively inert. It's a box. Now, it changes shapes ever so slightly due to humidity, due to heat, cold, and even when it's new, there's subtle changes. But I don't notice them, really. But with the sitar, I noticed it clearly. There's another aspect of the sitar which is quite marvelous in its design, and that is the sound creates an impression of being larger than it is. Because I've played duets with sitar and the classical guitar, every nuance that I make on the guitar can still be heard while the sitar sounds glorious. I would describe the sound it makes as diaphanous. A diaphanous gown is something that you can see through a little bit. And the sitar creates this impression of a very large sound, but it doesn't cover anybody else up. I think there's some really interesting metaphors there.